Look closely. See that luxury car? That confident smile? Most people see success, but what if everything you're looking at is hiding a painful financial secret? Every day, we compare ourselves to people who seem to have it all. The beautiful homes, the designer clothes, the dream vacation. Today, I'm going to tell you the story of two men. One looked wealthy but was quietly drowning in debt. The other looked ordinary but was building real financial freedom.
Have you ever looked at someone and thought, wow, they made it? The beautiful car, the expensive phone, the designer clothes, the luxury apartment, the vacations, the perfect pictures online. Everything about their life seems to say one thing: success. And sometimes, you look at your own life, your old phone, your small apartment, your simple clothes, your ordinary routine, and quietly, you start to feel behind. You start wondering, what am I doing wrong? Why does everyone seem to be moving faster than me? Why don't I look successful yet? But here's something nobody tells you, something social media rarely shows you, something you may not see from the outside. Looking successful can be very expensive. And I'm not just talking about money. Sometimes the hidden cost is debt. Sometimes it's stress. Sometimes it's sleepless nights. Sometimes it's the constant pressure to maintain an image you can no longer afford. And sometimes the person you envy is secretly wishing they had your financial peace. Think about that. Because we live in a world where people can see what you buy, but they cannot see what you owe. They can see your car, but they can't see the monthly payment. They can see your beautiful apartment, but they don't know you're struggling with the rent. They can see your vacation pictures, but they can't see the credit card balance waiting for you when you return. They can see the new phone in your hand, but they don't see the financial anxiety in your mind. And that's the problem. We compare what we know about ourselves to what people choose to show us about themselves. That's an unfair comparison. Let me tell you a story. Imagine two friends. Let's call them David and Michael. David loves looking successful. The moment he gets a salary increase, he upgrades his car. When his income goes up again, he moves into a more expensive apartment. His friends buy the latest phones, so David buys one too. People start wearing expensive brands. David changes his wardrobe. Then he begins traveling. Not necessarily because he loves traveling, but because, well, successful people travel, right? At least that's what social media seems to say. And every time David posts a picture, the comments come in. Big man, you're living the life. God, when? Boss, teach us your ways. And David feels good. For a moment, he feels important. He feels successful. He feels like he's finally becoming somebody. But when the excitement disappears, reality returns. The car payment is due, the rent is due, his credit card balance is growing, his savings account is almost empty, and one unexpected expense, just one, could destroy everything. But David can't slow down. Because now, people expect him to live a certain way. His friends expect expensive restaurants. His followers expect vacations. His family thinks he's financially comfortable. Everyone thinks David is doing well. So when David starts struggling, he tells nobody, he smiles, he posts, he pretends, and quietly, he worries. Now let's talk about Michael. Michael earns almost the same amount as David. But Michael lives differently. He drives an older car, his phone works perfectly, so he keeps it. He lives in a comfortable apartment, but nothing extravagant. He wears good clothes, but doesn't care about showing the logo. Michael rarely posts his purchases online. And because of that, some people assume he's not doing very well. They look at David and say, David is successful. Then they look at Michael and say, Michael needs to work harder. But here's what they don't know. Michael has 6 months of living expenses saved. Michael has investments. Michael has very little consumer debt. Michael can survive a financial emergency. And every month, his money is quietly working for him. David looks rich. Michael is becoming financially strong. There's a difference, a very big difference. And unfortunately, most people only notice the first one. Because financial strength is often invisible. You cannot take a beautiful Instagram picture of a paid-off debt. An emergency fund doesn't turn heads when you enter a room. Nobody at a party asks, Wow, is that a fully funded retirement account? Nobody sees your investment portfolio when you walk down the street. Financial stability is quiet, but luxury is loud. And because luxury is visible, we sometimes confuse it with wealth. But listen carefully. The ability to buy something is not always proof that you can afford it. Those are two different things. A bank can approve you for a car loan. That doesn't mean the car is good for your financial life. A credit card can allow you to spend thousands. That doesn't mean you have thousands. A payment plan can make an expensive item look cheap. Only $99 a month. Sounds affordable, but then you have $99 for this, $150 for that, $300 for the car, another payment for the phone, another subscription, another loan, another monthly commitment. And suddenly, your future income is already spent before you earn it. That's one of the hidden costs of looking successful. You start using tomorrow's money to impress people today. Read that again in your mind. Tomorrow's money to impress people today. And the scary part is, most of the people you're trying to impress aren't thinking about you as much as you think. They see your new car, they say, "Nice car." And 5 minutes later, they continue with their lives. But you keep the payment. They see your expensive shoes. They say, "Wow." Then they go home. But you keep the credit card balance. They like your vacation picture. Then they scroll to the next post. But you keep the financial consequences. The attention is temporary. The payment is yours. That's the hidden cost. And there's another cost we don't talk about enough. The cost of lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation happens when your spending increases every time your income increases. You earn more, so you spend more. You get a raise, new car, you get a promotion, bigger apartment. Your business makes more money, more expensive lifestyle. And from the outside, it looks like progress. But financially, you may still be standing in the same place, because if you earned $3,000 and spent $2,900, then started earning $6,000 and spending $5,900, your income changed, but your financial margin didn't. You're still one problem away from panic. This is why some people earn more money than they ever imagined, and still feel broke. Their lifestyle grew faster than their financial foundation. Every income increase became permission to spend. Nothing was allowed to stay. And this is where the pressure becomes dangerous. Because once people see you at a certain level, you become afraid to go backwards. Maybe you bought an expensive car. Now you realize the payment is too much, but selling it feels embarrassing. What will people say? Maybe you moved into a luxury apartment. Now the rent is suffocating you. But moving somewhere cheaper feels like failure. What will my friends think? Maybe you've built an online image around luxury. Now you're financially struggling, but you keep spending because you're afraid people will discover that your life isn't as perfect as it looks. This is how image becomes a prison. You are no longer buying things because you want them. You are buying things because you're afraid of what people will think if you stop. And that is expensive. Financially, mentally, emotionally. The question you need to ask yourself is simple. Who are you trying to impress? Seriously, who? Your friends, your family, people from school, strangers online, an ex, people who doubted you? Sometimes our spending isn't really about the product. It's about the message. The car says, "Look, I'm doing well." The designer bag says, "Look, I belong." The expensive dinner says, "Look, I can afford this." The luxury vacation says, "Look, my life is exciting." And there's nothing wrong with buying nice things. Let me make that very clear. Money is meant to improve your life. If you can genuinely afford a luxury car, enjoy it. If you love designer clothes and they fit comfortably into your financial plan, buy them. If traveling brings you joy and you've planned for it, travel. The problem isn't luxury. The problem is financial self-destruction for social approval. There's a difference between enjoying your money and performing with your money. One gives you happiness, the other gives you pressure. One fits your financial reality. The other forces you to pretend. And maybe it's time to stop performing. Maybe success doesn't need to look impressive. Maybe success is sleeping peacefully because your bills are paid. Maybe success is having money saved for an emergency. Maybe success is saying, "No, I can't afford that right now." And not feeling ashamed. Maybe success is driving your old car for 3 more years while building your investment account. Maybe success is keeping your phone until it actually needs replacing. Maybe success is living below your means, even when you can technically spend more. Maybe success is knowing that if your income stopped tomorrow, you wouldn't immediately panic. That's a different kind of wealth. Quiet wealth. The kind of wealth that doesn't always get likes. But it gives you options. And options are powerful. Money saved gives you the option to leave a bad job. Money invested gives your future more possibilities. Low debt gives you breathing room. A manageable lifestyle gives you flexibility. And financial flexibility is something many people who look rich don't have. Because the more expensive your lifestyle becomes, the more money you need just to maintain it. Think about it. If your monthly lifestyle costs $2,000, you need $2,000 just to stay where you are. If your lifestyle grows to $8,000 a month, now you need $8,000 every single month just to maintain your current life. The house, the car, the subscriptions, the memberships, the private services, the expensive habits, everything needs money. And suddenly, you don't control your income anymore. Your lifestyle controls you. You cannot take a break. You cannot slow down. You cannot easily change careers. You cannot take certain risks. Because the machine you've built needs to be fed every month. This is why reducing unnecessary expenses isn't always about being cheap. Sometimes, it's about buying back your freedom. Every monthly payment you eliminate gives your future income more space. Every debt you pay off gives you more control. Every unnecessary expense you remove reduces the amount of money required to maintain your life. And when you need less money to survive, you become harder to financially trap. That's powerful. So maybe the goal isn't to look successful. Maybe the goal is to build a life that feels secure, even when nobody is watching. Because at the end of the day, people don't pay your bills, your followers don't fund your retirement, your friends don't carry your debt. The strangers you're trying to impress will not sit beside you at 2 a.m. when you're worried about money. You will. So build your financial life for you. Not for applause, not for likes, not for comparison, not to prove a point. You don't need to look rich while you're becoming financially strong. You don't need to announce every financial win. You don't need to upgrade every time your income increases. You don't need to prove that you're successful. Sometimes, the smartest financial move looks boring from the outside. Keeping the old car, cooking at home, living in a smaller place, saying no to an expensive trip, repeating clothes, saving quietly, investing consistently, paying off debt. Nobody may clap for you. Nobody may comment. Boss, nobody may say, teach us your ways. But years later, when you have options, when you have financial breathing room, when money emergencies no longer destroy your peace, you'll understand. Looking successful and being financially secure are not the same thing. One is an image, the other is a foundation. And images can disappear quickly. But a strong financial foundation can support you for years. So the next time you feel behind because of someone's car, their house, their clothes, or their vacation, remember this. You can see what they bought. You cannot see what it cost them. And I'm not only talking about the price, I'm talking about the debt, the pressure, the stress, the sacrifices, the monthly payments, the financial freedom they may have exchanged just to look successful. Don't destroy your financial future trying to create an impressive present. Build quietly, save consistently, invest patiently, spend intentionally. And remember, real financial success doesn't always look expensive. Sometimes, it simply looks like peace. If this message changed the way you think about money, follow Financial Crystal for more simple, powerful conversations about money, debt, spending, and building real financial freedom. Because here, we're not trying to look rich. We're learning how to become financially strong.